My name is Elizabeth Hugh. For 6 years, I've been traveling the world from 2 to 3 countries per month. Then I stopped because I had baby Wolfie. But after some life problems, I became a single mom when my baby Wolfie was only 2 months. Life is good, we're 100% of the time together. She's amazing, but I never felt like home in Canada. I'm not a winter girl and Wolfie either. My dream has always been to raise my kids in the beautiful country of Costa Rica, and I'm now officially realizing it. So stay tuned, because this is happening. Good morning, bon matin, my little amigos. I just want to really start this video by saying, look at Wolfie this morning. She feels a lot better, she is good. She's okay and we're really happy about it. So I really want to start this video. It was supposed to be just an Airbnb tour video because I promised a video for today, but finally I really want to explain like what happened yesterday, because I feel like in stories it would be like too many slides. We were at the beach, and this story is just very messed up. So as you may or may not know, Wolfie is a 11 months baby, and what babies does at 11 months is that they have an oral phase, which means that they try to eat literally everything. So when we're at the beach, my role is to stare at her all along and make sure she doesn't eat a rock or like whatever it is. She's just trying to eat everything. So it's really funny, but it's demanding a lot. So I have to stare at her like every second of my life. But obviously, as a normal human, sometimes I have 2 seconds I'm not looking. So this is what happened yesterday. And now, like, I'm okay talking about, like, yesterday was really emotional, so I just didn't want to be on social media in general. But today I feel a lot better because Wolfie just, this story is crazy, okay? So I'm just gonna go on. Ouais, t'es tellement forte. So, for like, I don't know, we were just paying mango, so for like 2 seconds we were not looking at her. Hi, so I just needed to do a little interruption on this video, because yesterday when I posted what happened in my stories, I got a lot of backslash saying basically that it was my fault because I'm letting her put things in her mouth and that she's not well educated, she's behaving like really bad because she puts everything in her mouth, and just really stuff like that. I want to start by saying, first of all, if something happens to a kid, like injured or whatever happens, it's not gonna help by pointing out like, oh, you're a bad mom and things like that. It's just not helping anyone, and it's really hurtful because it's like a bad moment, so it's just not the right time to say things like that. Second of all, I don't know who said that, like, you might not be parents, or I don't know, you might just not know, or maybe you follow too much like perfect babies Instagram accounts, which is not bad, because I'm the type who's like, everyone can post whatever they want if they only want to post the positive. It's totally fine, but it's also important to know that being a parent is not only about putting a cute outfit on a baby and I don't know, like just the baby being always perfect with like hair done, and I don't know, like I really post everything about Wolfie in my story because I want to show the reality, and that's what I chose to show. But it's really annoying when like everyone just always complains. I feel like you really must not have, like, for example, if she falls or like anything, like she has sands all over her and people are like, oh, you neglect your baby. But how can you say that? Like, how can you know that not because she's not wearing a little hair tie buckle with like a cute dress means I'm neglecting her. I'm letting her play at the beach because baby full of sand means baby having fun. And I don't know, it's just my way of doing. We all have a different way of doing, but this is how I do. I feel like she's gonna have really good antibodies later. That's what my mom did with me, and that's what I wanted to do with Wolfie. But I don't know who are people to judge like if I'm a good mom or a bad mom. I'm very confident in my mom's skills in general, I think. But yeah, it's just a normal phase that baby put everything in their mouth. It's just, they all go through that, and it just builds their immune system, I guess. I guess it is what it is, but please keep like this type of comments for yourself. it's just not helping anyone. And I really get why like some moms only post the perfect moments on Instagram, because when you post like the house being a mess or like things like that, people always come at you like, oh, you're a bad mom because of blah blah blah. So it's just very annoying. If you would let us just show the reality without complaining, there would be more reality on Instagram, I guess. It's just very logical. I don't know. So let's go back to the story. Look. And when I turned around, I saw she had like kind of a small green fruit in her hand. I'm gonna put a photo right here. So I was like, no, like, cause I know you can't eat like random fruits or random things on the beach. So I was like, no, I removed it to her. But when I took it, I saw that there was kind of a bite which would look like her teeth in it. So I started freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh, I think she took a bite of like this thing. Is that like weird? Okay, so I went to Christo and I'm like, what is that? Do you know what it is? Like, is it dangerous? Is it something? So then his first, like the reflex for him was to take a bite of it to see like what it tastes like. But he didn't swallow it. He rejected it right after. But he said like, oh, it tastes kind of like apple. It's not anything weird in general. So I was just like, I think we should still ask someone. It's like very important. So next to us there was a little stand, like kind of touristic informations. So we thought, okay, this is the perfect people to ask because they were locals and like touristic things. So we went to them, we asked them, hey, so we came with the fruit and we're like, hey, so my baby had a bite in this and we were wondering, what is this? Is this dangerous? Do you know the name so we could check online? So the girl takes it and she's like, she even take a bite also, and she's like, oh, it's just like a small apple, like apple at the beach, it's okay, like don't worry, everything is fine. So we're like, oh, okay. And then after like 10 minutes, Christo's mouth started to burn, like really intense. But for Wolfie, she didn't seem to like have anything. So, but I was still worried because she was trying to eat everything but more than usual, and she would always want to drink like more than usual. So I was like, it must be like irritating or something. So I didn't really know what to do. So then like 5 minutes, everything happened kind of fast. 5 minutes later, another girl came in, and she was another person that works at the touristic information center, whatever it is. And she came to see us, and she's like, hey, my colleague told me that you brought like this apple and said that your baby had a bite, and she told you it was safe and okay, but it's not, like it's really not safe. You have to go to the hospital now. This is like the most toxic fruit in the world and blah blah blah. And we're like starting freaking out, obviously. So we pack our things, we go straight to the hospital. We made like the researches online. Dupi, people are not gonna understand my story if you keep talking. Do you want leche? Oof. When I need her to stop talking, it's always leche time. So then, on our way to the hospital, which was super close here, we're looking online at like, because we asked the woman like, what's the name of that? What can we look for? And it's called like La Manzanillo de la Muerte. It's like the death apple. And it says like that tree is like the most, it won like prizes of like the most toxic tree in the world. So we're really starting freaking out, like what the fuck is going on? Like Christo had a bite, he has his mouth burning and he felt a bit like a bit weird, and Wolfie seemed to have nothing, but we didn't want to take a chance. So when we arrived at the hospital, we told them that she had that fruit and blah blah, but she was fine. So they took all of her vitals, and finally she was just completely fine. So they were kind of confused, but we weren't, like, I was 99.9% sure she had a bite, just because the bite that there was like on the apple was literally the exact size of her teeth, and I just didn't want to take a chance because I haven't seen it. So it was like, we're not taking any chances. And Christo really had a bite, but he didn't swallow it. So and it was a very small one. So when Christo asked for him, they said like, if since he's an adult, he didn't swallow it, and he only had like a very small piece in his mouth. Like, stay in observation, like keep your vitals correct, but it's not the end of the world. Like, you must not die, you will not die from that. But for the baby it could be very dangerous, because they said like it can take a while before like the what is it called, the symptoms starts. So they kept us taking her vitals over again to see if there was any change or anything. So it was kind of stressful to be honest, but finally she didn't have hola. Finally she just didn't have anything at all. We think she probably didn't even bite in it, but obviously now when we're gonna go to the beach it's gonna be like extra careful. That tree is very toxic, and it happens a lot in the world because they have it in so many places, and it's a really cute tree at the beach, so you have to be careful. I'm gonna put the name right here. They have it even in Florida, and it happens a lot that the people eat the fruit because the fruit is cute and it looks good. It looks like a small apple, and at first it doesn't taste anything bad, and a lot of people, that's why it's called the death apple, because a lot of people just eat it without knowing, and then things happened. And it happens to a lot of kids, as they told us at the hospital. It's really like a common thing, and it's really bad, so you have to be very, very careful with that. So finally Wolfie was okay, but they still gave us anti-inflammatory, whatever it is in English. I don't know what it is in English, but basically the danger is that she could have an inflammation in her throat, and then it could block it, and she would have like difficulties breathing. So they gave us things to stop the inflammation, so there would be nothing. So we have a bunch of medications here in case anything happened during the night or whatever. We would have to give it to her and then go right away to the hospital. But finally nothing happened, and they said like if it's after 5-6 hours, there's for sure nothing is gonna happen. So now I feel like 100% clear that she probably didn't have that bite, and Christo is just feeling a lot better, and it's all gone, right? Tu le sens plus live sur ta bouche? No, it's all gone. So it was such an adventure, but finally it's ending well. I also want to put you in context. We got here 2 days ago because we were leaving Dominical, and we're staying here for a week. It's Quepos, it's only 30 minutes from Dominical, and I actually didn't know it was so close, because if I knew I would have come so much earlier, but we already booked an hotel here. So I feel really happy because this spot is very beautiful. The beaches are like the most beautiful ones in Costa Rica according to a lot of people. We have been to one beach yesterday, but it was not a cool experience, but we can't wait to see more. It's a national park. It's called Manuel Antonio National Park, and it's very, very cool. You can check it online, but we'll be here for the next week. We don't want to buy a house here. It's very simple, since houses here are much more expensive than the other area I want to go in, because it's much more developed and there's a lot of luxury hotel and things like that. But in the part where I'm gonna live, it's only 30 minutes from here, so it's super easy to just come to go to a really wonderful beach. So I don't really mind driving. I love driving here, so it's not a problem. So we're definitely not gonna move here. We're probably gonna still move to Dominical instead if we change our mind when we get to Tamarindo. So that's pretty much it for that. Now it's time to get into the real video. Let's go.